There is no module in January. Let me say it again. There is no module in January. I'll say it one more time. There is no module in January. Boom! Yes, folks, Hume here again. What's up? How are you going? We continue in our discussions on this module thing that CXC bringing out. All right, so far I would have put up one post where I would have dealt with the issue of what people would have seen on the grade slip. And then I would have put up another picture where CXC would have issued a release where they kind of explain what's going on. And I assume that they will issue some more releases as time goes on. When they do that, I will share them. And while they're doing that, I will share my own information and perspectives on the matter as well. I want to do that in this video by answering a particular question that I got on the last video. And the question is, somebody commenting on the thread, could you do module 1 January and do module 2 and 3 May, June? If by January the person is referring to January 2027, which I am almost sure is what they meant, then the answer is no. So anybody thinking of doing a module in January 2027, understand that that is simply not on the cards. Reason being that the module system will be available from June 2027, not January 2027. The syllabus, the new syllabus that CXC put out, where they basically explain the new structure, they give examples of the new structure, right? And they share the new structure. It says specifically on the cover of the document that this syllabus is effective for examinations from June 2027, which means that January 2027 will be the last exam under the present syllabus. So those of you who intend to write the exam in January, you'll be doing it under the regular order that you have been accustomed to since 2021, I believe, is when the last syllabus revision took place. All right? Notwithstanding the fact that you will see the module thing in your results. So for example, this last result here was for June 2026, and you saw the results for module 1. Why they only put module 1 and they didn't put module 2 and 3, that is their decision, right? They only put module 1. Maybe in January they might put module 2 and 3 in addition to module 1, I don't know. But whatever results you see, module 1 or module 2 or module 3, understand that even for the January exam coming up, that result wouldn't really be effective in terms of saying what grade you get. Your grade will still be 1, 2, and 3 because January 2027 will be the last exam under the present structure. From June, however, June 2027, now you could say, let me split it up. Maybe module 1, this exam, this sitting, and then I could do module 2 and 3 another time. Something along those lines. So you might want to do module 1 in June 2027. Those of us who register in June. You may very well have the option to prepare for module 1 alone in June. And then further to that, after you pass in June, then you can spend the remainder of the time dealing with module 2 and module 3 in January 2028, maybe January and June 2028. So in other words, the modular system is one that you could use to your advantage if you feel that you need to break it up into sections to focus on each section one at a time. You could do that, right? But as I promised, we will get into the details a little later, right? I am still going through the document and I will get to the point eventually where I will come out and say certain things pertaining to it. But I felt that I had to deal with that particular question immediately because I am sure that the person who asked that question is not the only person who wants the answer to the question. So I'm putting it out. So just to round up, there is no module in January. Let me say it again. There is no module in January. I'll say it one more time. There is no module in January. Not January 2027. Maybe January 2028. In fact, not maybe. Yes, in January 2028. Because the modules take effect from June 2027. All right? So that is the straightforward answer to your question. So if you're doing the exam in January, you're doing it as is. If you're doing it in June, now we have the option to consider the possibility of either doing the whole exam in June or maybe just doing one module. But we will have that conversation at a later date.